Right guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got this Audi S1 in with us for a stage 3 build. This car's getting a Venum hybrid turbo, Scorpion turbo back exhaust system, intercooler, intake, brake upgrades, springs, the lot. So as always guys, we're going to get the car onto the dyno, test the car in stock form, which basically gives the engine and the car a little mini health check, make sure all the data logs are doing what they should be doing, and once we're happy with how the car's performing, we can get the car off the dyno, into the workshop, get some parts installed onto this car, and then it'll be back in here for the tuning, so let's get it. Right guys, so we've done the stock runs on the S1 now. The car's made 246 brake horsepower and 276 foot-pound of torque. So this car's got a full tank of 99 octane fuel, so we'd expect it to make a little bit over what Audi actually advertised for this car. But one thing that strikes my attention straight away is the torque curve is really up and down. So the car's boost is actually going up and down quite a lot. That's what's making the torque curve look very unsmooth and unstable. So the car's actually at 0.9 bar of boost and then up to 1.1, 1.2 bar. So instead of it having just a flat boost curve, the boost is actually up and down quite a lot, which is something that is pretty common on factory ECU tunes, on the Simos platform ECUs. So obviously when we tune the car, we're going to be looking to get a nice smooth boost curve, which will produce a nice torque curve from the car. But other than that, the car's making standard power. It's not pulling any ignition timing, so we know that the engine's nice and healthy. The fuel's doing what it should be doing, so we've got a nice baseline to start off from. So now that we know the car's doing what it should be doing, the power's all good, the engine's performing as it should, we can get the car off the dyno, into the workshop, and we can start the stage 3 build, so let's go. Right guys, so all the parts are installed on the S1 now. The last thing to do is to tune this car. So we've got the car back into the dyno cell. We're going to get the car on the dyno and start our stage 3 tuning process. And let's see what power we can make from this car. So let's go. Right guys, we've flashed a bass file into this car now. We're going to be targeting about 1.4 bar of boost, so we can basically just get the boost control all under control, make sure it's meeting its target, no nasty boost spikes, fueling's all good. Obviously we've put an high pressure fuel pump in this car, so we want to make sure that the fuel pump's working as it should, the turbo's working as it should, and just make sure basically everything's working as it should be working. So yeah, we're going to be flashing a 1.4 bar base with a nice rich lambda, just to get the turbo and everything dialed in, and then once we're happy with how the car's performing on a lower, more conservative boost pressure, then we can start upping the boost to a sort of level where we've tuned these cars before. So we'll flash this into the ECU and then we'll go from there. So we've done the first run on the stage 3 base. We're peaking at 1.45 bar and the car's making 326 brake horsepower and 354 foot-pound of torque. So we've actually gained 80 brake horsepower and 100 foot-pound of torque in places. And obviously guys, this is just a base map, so that's only progressive boost, and even from the first revision the boost is a lot more flat compared to the stock software, and you can see that in the actual dyno plot itself. The torque is a lot smoother. We don't have these humps and troughs anymore, so that's a nice place to start. I've got a little bit of tweaking to do to the actual boost curve, and then we can start upping the boost and see where we can take this car. So let's make some more changes and let's see what we can do. Right guys, after a few revisions on the S1 now, the car's now making 416 brake horsepower and 385 foot-pound of torque. So this is probably about where I'd want to leave this car. The intake temps are still going up pretty quickly and I wouldn't want to push it any more than that really. Peak boost is 1.8 bar. Some companies would ramp the boost in straight up to 1.8 bar on the initial spool, but with it being such a little car, I think a more progressive boost curve will make the car feel a lot better in the corners and drive a lot better on the road. So we've got a progressive boost curve, it's making good power. The car's making like an extra 170 brake horsepower in places, which is ridiculous. Yeah, a little bit more than that to be fair. And as you can see from the actual dyno graph, the torque curve is way smoother than even the stock car was. So obviously we built this stage 3 car and pieced together a stage 3 build, and it's actually performing in a smoother way than a factory car does. So I wouldn't want to push this car any further because we're seeing 57-degree intake temps, and today it's pretty cool in the dyno cell. I think we're seeing about 9 or 10 degrees ambient. So like I say, the intake temps are pretty hot for such a cool day, so we'll leave it as it is and we'll test it on the road, and I'm pretty sure this car is going to be rapid even at this power because it's such a small car. So let's get the car onto the road, drive it, get some data logs and just see what it's saying. So let's go. Right guys, so we're out in the S1. The conditions are different. It's basically flash floods today, but we're out anyway to get the content that you want to see. So we're out in the S1. Feels good. The power delivery is great on this car. So we've done a lot of things to this car. So it's a full stage 3 build, as you've seen. But we've uprated the brakes, it's had some lowering springs, it's had a Sachs Sintered paddle clutch, one of our fast road 4-wheel alignments. So as a whole, the car is set up very nicely. I like the fact that the exhaust isn't ridiculously loud. So he opted for the Scorpion Sports Cat with the 3-inch resonated cat back, which is valved. So you get that nice grunt, but it's not in your face. So yeah, the car, it's a really nice car. Manual, 420 brake horsepower, what more do you want from a car? So yeah, it feels nice. We've just been doing some pulls on the bypass, collecting some data from the ECU, and when we get back to the workshop we'll check it all out, make sure it's all good. But as a whole, this car is complete, so we'll head back to the workshop and we'll see you back there. Right guys, so we're back at the workshop now with the S1. We've been over the data logs. The car's doing exactly what we'd expect it to do on the road and matching the data that we'd found on the dyno. So the car is good to go and ready for the customer to come and collect it. So with that being said, that's a wrap for this one guys. And if you like this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.